All right, so what I want to talk about today is just where we are as a customer marketing organization and what we're doing as a profession, where we are today, what's in front of us, where we think we need to be tomorrow. And so I want to just kind of kick things off with that. You know, the first thing is, though, most of the customer marketing professionals roll up into the marketing department. And I believe firmly that today marketing is broken. And it has been for some time. Long before COVID, long before even the internet. We've come into the past, we've come into the scenario where we're just doing things the same old way. And so as marketing leaders that put together an annual budget and what do you want to spend and the allocations go in your brand awareness, your demand gen campaigns, now social media, and there's so many different ways. And if you just peanut butter that across, it's not going to be effective. And so it's a challenge. Today, it's all about creating opportunities, not individual leads. And so if you think about that marketing funnel and creating individual leads, that's kind of antiquated. And so marketers, we're accustomed to failure. We're always failing. We're almost failing 95 to 99% of the time, right? So something's got to change. And so I think that customer marketing does fix marketing. And I thought Amanda said it so eloquently on stage earlier that customer marketing is marketing. It's the modern day marketing. It brings back that human connection, that relationship building. And you can do it at scale with tools, but it is the most effective way because everything's getting commoditized and you just need to be able to create relationships that lead to loyalty, that makes it easier to have renewals and long-term customers and ultimately advocates that are going to act on your behalf. So it's all about connecting with them and just asking them, what do they want? What do they want with your brand? What do they want to do as far as how that supports their organization, their personal brand, and then moving forward. So where are we with marketing today? I'm really happy, and I hope you're all happy with the fact that there's a lot of satisfaction out there with customer marketing. Influitive did a State of Customer Marketing report. We published it in February. And this question here is, in your eyes, how important is customer marketing to the overall success of your organization? And we split out and just took the answers from the executives. 98% believe that their customer marketing teams is incredibly important to the overall success of their company. That is great news. And I didn't even put it up on the screen. How about that? I'm looking ahead at the wrong slide. Sorry about that. So that's our State of Customer Marketing report. Overwhelming support from executives' view, understanding the value that customer marketing is bringing to the table. The second one is we've been citing this a lot, and everyone else is, that in the LinkedIn fastest growing jobs, number 3, customer marketing manager, only ahead of vaccination specialist and a diversity and inclusion manager. So from a B2B tech perspective, it is absolutely the fastest growing one, and this is over a course of 5 years. So customer marketing is in a very good spot today, and it's only going to get better going forward. And it's not, to me, in my eyes, it's not just another one of the marketing disciplines. And I'm probably not even listing all of them here, but I do think that customer marketing stands out among all the other disciplines. For this reason, they are the glue and the orchestrators of communications and customer engagement across the organization. So every department that needs to understand what customers are thinking, saying, wanting, customer marketing can be that vehicle and that conduit. From the product side to product ideation, figuring out what the roadmap is, to the sales teams, CS and support, and then everything on the right is marketing, and there's so much more. But as Andrew was talking about content development, content marketing should be driven through what your customers are saying. Get those stories out. So we are in an uncertain time right now. We hear about recession is looming, inflation is rising. So what's the first thing that happens when companies start cutting? They come to marketing, right? So marketing is one of those first departments that they need to figure out what to do. What are you going to cut? Is it going to be people? Is it going to be part of your tech stack? Don't know. So a Pavilion just yesterday, they're a large organization of high growth executives. They just published this benchmarking survey. So we're not in a recession yet, but a few stats here that are interesting. 38% of executives, only 38% of executives feel like they're going to hit their revenue targets in 2022. 43% of companies have stopped or paused hiring in some or all of their functions. 58% of executives have one or more contingency recession plans. That is probably not enough, but every company should be going through that, understanding what happens if the shit hits the fan. And so that's something we have to deal with. 37% of marketing budgets are going to stay the same through the end of the year. So far, 15% said that they were decreasing. So that's what's in front of us. So what do we do as customer marketers? I think that the thing that we need to think about is what is the most proven strategies that you can do that is going to get you through tough economic times or any economic times. I think that customer marketing is that area that's going to help you do it. So I'm just going to touch on 4 of them. Here we go, sorry. The first one is focus on community. Don't think about selling. Think about engaging your community, engaging all of your customers to understand what it is they want. Customer communities have been around for a long time, for decades, and they've always been underfunded. And they've been typically over-rotated to support deflection and letting customers do self-serve. But that's not what customer communities are today. They're growing in importance. They're getting the funding that they need, and it's really critical for ultimately retaining customers. So engagement is imperative, I think, and communities is a great resource for that. So Salesforce puts out their state of marketing report every year. The #1 challenge for them is engagement. And so a community is a great way to engage with your customers all the time. Not just your advocates, all of your customers, because that's the pool that's ultimately going to create your advocates. And it's not just communicating with them on a regular basis. I mean, customers have high expectations. They want to understand, and they want you to know where they are. They want you to know about what their interests are. And so you have to have some of that information at your fingertips to create enriched, personalized experiences, and you can do that in communities. The Community Roundtable just published their State of Community Management report, and there's some really encouraging things in here. Now communities can tie to the business outcomes. That first stat on the left hand, what are the top 3 business outcomes that your communities are able to support? Customer loyalty and retention, fantastic. Awareness and branding and product usage. Those are all great things that map to businesses, the business goals of an organization, the C-suite's interest. But also on the bottom, communities aren't just for customers to engage with other customers. It's your opportunity to have employees engaging with those customers. And that is invigorating to employees. Employees, we've all heard about the Great Resignation. So why are people going to want to stay with your company and continue working with your company? Well, give them opportunities to have conversations and build relationships with your customers. It's a win-win situation. And so I think that's another great area. And then if you think about where do the executives' perceptions of it, this is a fantastic jump over a course of a few years, from 56% to 88%. Executives now view communities as critically important for their growth and success. #2, champion authentic stories. Don't sell, let your customers inspire others. And I think in a down economy, business is anything but normal, and marketing shouldn't be as well. So yeah, I think everyone's been talking about this morning, about creating authentic stories and case studies and testimonials. That is all what you should be doing. But you need to double that. You need to triple that. You need to have your content marketing teams focused on that and engage with those customers. And you need to engage with those customers to help them figure out ways that they can share their story. I can say that Influit is a great company, and you're not going to really care what I say. But when Bev says it, or when Bridget says it up here, that is the best validation we could possibly have. So having a customer share their position and their passion for a brand is nothing better. So the reason why it's even more important is the power has shifted. This is a scary stat for a marketing executive. 70% of the buyer's journey is complete before they ever want to pick up and talk to John Erskine, our sales guy over here. They don't want to do that. They're doing their self-education, they're doing it at their pace, the way they want to, and they're doing that before they reach you. So the only way you can persuade them to put you on the short list is to put content in front of them in the places they go. And that is on review sites. That is on other websites. It is at conferences and events. So the stories that your customers are able to tell in a public fashion is invaluable, and it's essential for growing your business. Similarly, 90% of MarTech decision makers say that the customers want to have peer recommendations, and that's critical for making purchasing decisions. So they trust your customers, they trust strangers over what marketing and sales has to say. Number 3 is arm your advocates, especially when times are getting challenging. You need to double down on knowing who your advocates are and giving them opportunities to share what they love about your brand in any different form, whether that's in conferences and speaking sessions, whatever it may be. But you not only have to do that, you also have to identify as many advocates as you possibly can and continue to nurture them. On average, a customer base might have 10% of their customers that are advocates. 10, 15 maybe? That's a massive pool that you should be engaging with and doing your best to put your best foot forward to convert them into loyal advocates. It's your best way to grow your business through cross-sells, upsells, and then also getting the best quality referrals that you can possibly get, which is a recommendation from a really happy customer. So the reason that the advocates also have to do that is because, again, marketing and sales, no one's listening to us. They don't trust us. They don't trust the slick marketing brochures that we put in front of them. A couple of days ago, we were talking about coming to the event. I don't know if Christine's here. Christine, she said, well, we can have a marketing one-pager? I was like, I guess we could, and it's going to go in someone's tote bag, and then it's going to go in the trash. So it just doesn't work. Maybe a one-pager would have been good if it was a customer story, but I just don't think that what we put out is what your buyers want. So we've talked a lot about customer advocacy and what can we do with our advocates and what can we get out of our advocates. Advocacy is a journey, and it's an ongoing journey, and there's going to be bumps in the road, ups and downs. Someone might be ecstatic with your brand one day, and all of a sudden the product doesn't work at the most essential time, and they are a detractor, and they're going on a review site, and they're writing a scathing review. That's going to happen. But if you've created goodwill over a multitude of touches and a multitude of years, hopefully, you've created that well where you can have a conversation and say, I'm sorry, we screwed up, we can fix this, and they'll stay with you. So it's an ongoing effort to keep customers at that pinnacle state of advocacy. Customer marketing's #1 goal is to turn customers into advocates. And that's a hard effort. It's an ongoing effort. It happens well after that first sale. And we hope you keep them there as advocates. I did it again. Sorry. Advocates create what buyers seek, and that is the content that they want to hear, the stories, the stories with the warts. So that content is essential to get out there. And I would say that it takes time to make those asks about whether you want to do a video testimony or want to do a case study. I wouldn't do that if I was a customer 1 month in. So it takes time to build up that relationship to get to a point to start making those heavy asks, those big asks. If you want to be a reference, that's a big ask to ask a customer. You're putting their reputation on the line. So advocacy programs are more important than ever. This stat came from, after we were in the middle of COVID, 95% of MarTech decision makers said we need a formal advocacy program more than ever. And I'm expecting that to go up even more if we start hitting some bumpy roads and we get into this recession. Because everyone should be hunkering down on your customer base and turning those customers into advocates. So the last one, #4, is just level up marketing. As customer marketers, go in and talk to your marketing leader and just say, this is the time where we have to make an investment in our customers. And so it's not about cutting one area or another. You can't just spend your way out of this by doing advertising and brand awareness. You can make a smart investment by investing in your customers. And that can be through customer marketing resources, whether that's staff or technologies. It can be a number of things. But that's where the investment is. That's the safest investment that you can possibly make in good times and in bad. And the reason is experiences matter. 92% of customers would completely abandon a company after 2 or 3 negative interactions. We've all been consumerized. We all believe that the expectation bar is so darn high that it just has to be a great experience. We've done this, it's happened in the B2C. We started with our smartphones, and that's evolved back into the B2B world. So the smart, successful companies recognize this. The most successful companies on the planet are investing 3 times more into customer marketing. That is a wonderful stat. Take that into your CMO's office and share that. Gartner also says that by 2026, the buying and selling experience is going to be commoditized. Everything's getting commoditized. So how do you compete in a sea of technology solutions if you're in the B2B tech and MarTech space? The MarTech 5000 is bursting at over 8,500 solutions. What a dizzying proposition that is for a buyer to think about what technology do I use? It's crazy. So what is your differentiation? It's the relationships that you have with your customers. And if you can bring that in with your employees, even better. That is a relationship where the experience is so great, the product might be great, might be good, but the next time they move on in their journey, their career journey, they're going to be taking you with them. So the world is changing also in favor of customer marketing from this perspective. I mentioned earlier that the classic funnel, marketing funnel right down to an individual lead, it's becoming antiquated. And Forrester just published a few months ago their new B2B revenue model. And that top line is key. Look at that top line around current customers and candidates. It used to be, I'll spend 80% of my marketing budget on demand gen to acquire new customers, which is about 10 to 20% of your overall revenue. This visual here is a great reflection of where your revenue is and where your opportunity is. It's largely with your existing customers. And it's all about creating opportunities. Opportunities, we all hear about marketing and sales. Are they in alignment? Or are they not in alignment? They're at odds. Marketing sends leads over. Sales kicks them back, says they're disqualified, they're no good. That's an individual. We're in the world of buying groups. And we're in this world together to work together to come up with a solution and create a great experience for a prospect to turn them into a customer. It takes a village. CMO dashboard metrics. This is another recent Forrester, and I love Forrester, so they have published great content. If you're not subscribing to Forrester, please do. But their CMO dashboard metrics, if you look at what's top of mind for CMOs, it's all about the customer. It's all about the customer value, lifetime value, revenue, retention, upsells. You will have a great career and a great accelerating career as a customer marketing professional if you align to these things. If you map the day-to-day stuff that you do back up to the metrics that matter for everyone at the executive level. So the future is very bright for customer marketing. I think customer marketing sits right in the center and has a great opportunity to bring together everything that's going to make companies succeed. The future of business really is about customer centricity and customer obsession. There's no turning back on that. And the only way you can be customer obsessed is to invest in customer marketing. How can you be customer obsessed and have a core value of being customer centric, if you don't have a customer marketing resource or a group? It doesn't make sense to me. So, and customer marketing is all about driving loyalty, and customer marketing is the great enabler of bringing together employees with other employees, employees with customers. And when you start engaging employees, they stick around. You don't have to go, it's not a backfill of all these people leaving the company, and then you have to spend a lot of effort trying to backfill, and you lose the best talent. So I think that the most productive staff are your engaged employees. The best way to do that is through your customers, and customer marketing is the solution to all that. So one last thing. We have a booth right over here. I mentioned earlier that we're the exclusive community partner of the Customer Marketing Alliance. We're going to do raffles every day. I don't know, we do more than one, John? One, couple? Yeah. So at the end of the day, we'll do a raffle for an annual membership to the Customer Marketing Alliance. Hopefully you can partake in that. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dan. Definitely got my brain flowing on some ideas for the future and even what I would bring back to my team. I'm sure other people might feel the same way. We had a few questions come in for you. One, what would you say or what would you recommend that the best ways would be to advocate for the importance of customer marketing across other internal departments, especially sales and CS?
To advocate across with other internal departments.
Yeah, so I think you shared some pretty great stats there. If you're thinking about somebody going back to their team, do they show them those stats? How do we sell it?
I think you show the stats, but I think it's always good to begin with the end in mind. So if you're going to go to the CS stakeholder and talk about, well, what's the importance of customer marketing? Well, you flip it around and say, what's important to you? What are your goals? And let me come back to you and say, here's how customer marketing can help you achieve your goals. Always make it about them, and then they'll understand the importance and value that you can bring to the table.
Love that. Similar to kind of working and meeting people where they're at, our next question is around gluing together those customer touch points. So out of those, visuals that you shared with us, especially that triangle, if customer marketing serves all of those different facets and each one of those has different customer touch points, where would you recommend somebody starts when it comes to gluing all those together?
Yeah, it was talked about earlier this morning about the journeys, and there's so many journey mapping tools out there. The journey is never linear and clean, right? It looks like a mousetrap. It's all over the place, and you can go in any different direction. And so solutions like ours and others out there, it gives you the opportunity to create a very personalized branded experience. So if I gravitate to one thing and I'll go down that path. So it might be about, I'm interested in being a speaker at a conference, and that's all I really want to do with your brand. Well, then that's the journey you want to take them on and figure out what are the touch points that you do that are relevant to them. So if they see that you're putting you're putting content and actions in front of them that they can benefit to get to their career goals and being a speaker at a conference, then they see the value of what you're trying to do. You're trying to help them, and you're not flooding them with crap that they just don't care about. So the touch points have to be aligned and designed based on what's relevant to the individual buyer.
Love that human-centered design element. And then our last question is around, you mentioned that customers, or one of the statistics or insights that you shared was that people are very interested in going through that like self-serve buying journey. They can figure out what they want themselves. They want to learn about it themselves. They're interested to hear from peers. So if a company is, taking that to heart and really prioritizing that self-serve, product-led growth journey, what would you recommend that they think about and balance when it comes to that one-on-one relationship building? They're maybe moving away from that or not prioritizing that, but what would you recommend to them to keep in mind?
I don't think it has to be something you strain about thinking about on your own. You just simply ask your customers. And it's where customer marketing needs to align with CS. Because they're going through that onboarding. They're the ones that are talking with customers the most right after that sale. Understand and figure out what questions you want to pose to them in the regular flow of communication, and then leverage that to create what is appropriate for them. So it could be self-serve, but some people might not want self-serve, so one size doesn't fit all.
Dan, one of my favorite things about the way you answered this question answered all of these questions, was that you really reminded us that the answers are there. We just have to ask the people who have the answers for us and work with them and center our work around that. So I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time sharing the future of customer marketing.